has begun, but before we can begin the mini ScoterZillias, I have to say I have to give a shout out to our very good friend Dana Lovell, Gulford, Maine, for this bad boy right here. This was for the Pitboss XX. Seasoned, 20 seasons. And this bird right here, Dana, thank you very much for giving me the motivation to try to come up with something level. I can't say original because it's not original, but it was something
that works for you.
Something very different, and hopefully gives me a few more seasons. Dana, you may have bought me a few more seasons in the guiding world, right, love?
I hope so.
Karen's so worried about I'm getting so old and I'm not going to be able to do this much longer, right?
No.
Yes, no?
I want to touch on this real quick. So why am I switching over to this, love? Why am I switching over?
It's getting older.
Well, more specific.
Because I was so heavy.
They were freaking heavy, especially after they got shot. They got shot up so bad this year. I cycled through most of the Wiley cork, so Wiley cork didn't absorb water. The new imported Portugal cork, it does suck up water like a sponge. And man, they got shot up big time this year. So I bet you 15 of these in a bag, probably they won't even. I bet you there won't be 2 of those things, right?
No, yeah.
It's going to be a crazy thing.
Yeah, much different. I want you to do it for as long as
I
you can.
need to do it, love.
As long as you can.
Regardless, Dana, thank you very much for the inspiration. Let's get this thing started. Come on.
Awesome and awesomeness. I was really worried about cutting that out, but it cut it really nice. And we're going for something. We're going for something like this, if you can envision it. Mini ScoterZillia. Bottom board is next. But while I got the jig set up, I'm going to cut a few more out. Karen should be home shortly, and hopefully she'll help me get some better footage. I got 12 of these. I'm really happy with that. I'm super happy with that. Let's cut out some more. Let's see. Okay, that. Need my Sharpie. I'm trying, if I can, to avoid cutting through that little hole. But this one, as you can see, that's one I'm not going to do now because the hole is so off-center in there. There's one a little bit better, but man, not much, huh? We go that way with it. I think that's the best way. Yeah. If I can cut right about there. Right about there should get me. All right, let's try it again. Shot vac. Side note, I gotta tell you, yesterday it was 70 degrees here. It's sunny here today, but it felt good. It felt really good. Today, it's 1 o'clock. I've waited to try to have the sun warm things up here a little bit for us. It was 36 overnight, and I gotta tell you, man, it feels like a sea duck hunting kind of morning, man. My toes are cold because I'm barefooted. Backs of my hands are cold. Anyway, I'm just explaining, not complaining. Something kind of funny. I'm not sure, from back in my drag racing days, I'm not sure if this smells like Cap.t racing gas. I think it was 105 octane. Kind of smells like Cap.t and a cross between the old Testors model glue. So, all right, these cut out much easier and simpler than what I was thinking. And I'm gonna wait for Karen before I do any more. While I'm waiting on her, I'm gonna see if I can't find some good bottom boards. Bottom board material. All right, I'm saving these 2 Waiting on Karen for these two. But I've got them lined up. Some are cut. I've got a bottom board already marked up for that one right there. I'm not going to cut it out until I get my jig undone, and I've got them all cut because I don't want to have to reset the jig up. Although I did take my measurements down, so I'm good to go next time. There they are. They really do cut nice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. Actually 7 with those two, but I got 5 I'm going to cut right now, and Karen should be home shortly. So again, being in a mold, these things are very, shall I say, inconsistent. And this one's definitely the worst one I've seen yet. Most of them are good. I'm going to have to readjust to get this one in there. Let's take a look, see what I'm looking at here. Yeah, a little loose. We can make it work. Nice and nice. I saved 2 more. Not that you haven't seen how I cut them out, but I've saved 2 more. Maybe Karen will kind of look over my shoulder a little bit on those last 2. Bottom boards will be next. And the prototype will be assembled today. It will. Excited about it. Excited. More to come, more to come. Really smells good. What is that? Love a Swedish fish? It smells good. Did you have a good time with Jake? Mm-hmm. All right, they just came back. They just came back from running the dogs, and Karen is gracious enough so I can slightly explain a little bit here. I'm looking for my Sharpie. Is this a good one? This is a good Sharpie. So I got 2 more of these. And really, there's some that are really kind of messed up. I guess it's the process. You know, they're in a mold, whatever kind of foam it is, expanding foam, whatever. So I'm not really that concerned that the hole, although this one looks pretty good, that the hole is going to be, for instance, you know, the hole was really not down the center, right? Would you agree?
Almost. Yeah. Oh, the hole. Yeah,
but if you're going to put a keel in that,
right,
the keel would definitely be off center, right? So I'm not really that concerned about the hole, but I am concerned about is I'd like to miss these little holes. So all I'm simply doing is just kind of picking, if you're thinking about the blade's going to be here, all I'm doing is marking so that, in theory, it should go right down the center, right?
Yeah,
what do you think?
Yeah.
Let me get this one here. So again, here's one that, even though the sides are pretty uniform, like the hole's definitely off, right?
Yeah.
But again, I'm not really that concerned about it because the blade's going to be, I just want to miss these holes here, right? So if I get her in there somewhere like that. And I'm telling you, I really did lay in bed this morning, like, I had a weird dream that one of them was like 3 feet long and it was all swooped and it was just, the dogs were having fun. It worked. So, Jake, if you don't mind, shot vac, can you hit the off? I'm sorry, I thought you were still standing. Got bow in here, everything. Yep, there we go. However you want to do this, love. You ready? All right. It really goes easy. Pretty simple, huh? I'm happy with it. What do you think?
Yeah. They cut nice.
They do. Awesome and awesomeness. I said before too, like,
They have a smell.
yeah, it reminds me a little bit of like back in the drag racing days. There was Sunoco made this stuff called Cap.t. It was 105 octane. So racing gas kind of smells like that, or the old Testors model glue. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, you don't like that?
Smell.
Oh.
I like
All right.
cedar better.
You like the cedar better? The cedar does smell good. Here. Yeah, that's not that aromatic. But anyway, so now I can break this down. I did take my measurements off so I can reproduce this because in theory, the 12 buoys got me 24 bodies and I'm hoping I can get 15 on a line. And my math's not good, but if I want 4 lines of 15, what's that, love? 60?
4 lines of 15, yep.
60, I think 72 by the time I'm said and done. I think I'm gonna have 72. But we're gonna break this down. Simple and easy, easy and simple. This piece of wood here, love, guess what it's from?
The house.
No, the sleds that never got completed last year. The big sleds. Okay.
All right, so then all I've done, and I'm a little anxious. I really want to end up with the 1-inch boards. This is a 3/4. Really going to use the 1-inch, but I'm going to have to biscuit it and join it all together because I need it to be like 9-ish, a little heavy 9, and really everything I have is 8 inches. So I'm going to have to chop them up, biscuit them together, and we'll just go through and cut them out. But anyway, this fits on here pretty good. Come up in here, love. Just made a quick and easy trace. These aren't going to be quite as big as the ScoterZillias. I'm calling them mini ScoterZillias. You're good. But this, when it's said and done, this has need to be adjusted because I made it big so I could for the 1-inch bottom boards. Right. So there's a little bit of adjustment in there. I'm just going to simply I'm going to notch out my foam. I'm going to trim the bottom off this up. That'll get that. So, but anyway, I got that all traced out. I have to take the chops off.
Okay.
All right. Let me cut this down, and I'll be right back, and we'll cut it out on the bandsaw. Love. Do we love battery power tools?
You do, yeah.
You don't?
You don't trust me with them.
All right, we're just gonna chop this real quick. Let's see if I can't maybe save a little bit just in case. I don't know what else I got. Okay. There we go. I don't know. That probably won't do anything for me, but maybe it will. All right, let's cut this thing out. So basically I need more light in here, love.
Yeah.
Don't we? Really needs to be wired. I never got it wired, so everything's always kind of never enough time, right? Is that my motto? I hope not. All right, so this is what if you can make it out.
Yep.
This is what we got going on, right? I'm not concerned about the holes. I am going to use cedar anyway, so if it gets kind of wet, I'm not really that concerned. Now here's a little trial and error. The two things we got to do, I made this a little bit big. Because I didn't know exactly where this was going to be. So I wanted it longer than shorter, right? But the silhouette head is going to go back in the foam a little bit. So we're going to trim this up and we're going to just freehand try to draw a round flat spot. I'm not that concerned. It doesn't bother me that there's going to be a big gap there, right?
Okay.
No, it doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Does it bother you?
Yep.
Really? Why? Why so?
Ducks don't look like that.
Love, this is not a duck. It's a decoy. Right? What about those branch silhouettes?
It's gonna look silly.
What about the branch silhouettes look silly?
Oh, but that's different.
How?
Because I don't have half of their chest missing.
I really don't know how to do this except by kind of do it on the fly. I really don't have a good way of, that was just rye. I really don't have a good way of doing this. Except for just kind of trial and error.
Yep. I'm sure you'll make it look good.
Somehow, some way. You cold?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
And you can't make the head smaller and have the neck of it recess into here further?
Originally that was what I was going to do, but I'm really trying to. Oh, it's windy. Again, I'm trying to reproduce the mass of this, right? So if I put the head way back in the body, see right there. I mean, there's not that much difference. They may look bigger.
Yeah, that's
right.
I think
I'm calling them.
Recess it a little.
I am. I'm going to. Yeah, I want to get it back in there just a little bit. This much. That was my plan.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm calling them mini ScoterZillias. They may actually be bigger. What do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, that was a way big ScoterZillias, right? The oversized, that was the exception, but this was the rule. So that's what I'm trying to reproduce. These things are feather light. Love, I want to touch on this real quick. So why am I switching over to this, Love? Why am I switching over?
It's getting older.
Well, more specifically.
Because I was so heavy.
They were freaking heavy, especially after they got shot. They got shot up so bad this year. I cycled through most of the Wiley cork, so Wiley cork didn't absorb water. The new imported Portugal cork, it does suck up water like a sponge. And man, they got shot up big time this year. So I bet you 15 of these in a bag, probably I bet you there won't be 2 of those things. right?
No, yeah.
It's going to be a crazy
Yeah,
course.
much different.
All right, let's see if I can get into this. Jake, if you don't mind. It won't do it. All right, gotta get creative. Luckily it's foam, eh? Yeah, still, I want to get that cleaned out just a little bit more. That's pretty good, isn't it? You think? All right, Jake, thank you. Not too bad.
No.
Let's see how far it sits back in there. Man, I mean, pretty much exactly what I was wanting.
Okay.
So now, I need to lose how much? This is where like a workbench would come in handy instead of a work saw. What do you think?
Definitely.
Here we go. Wow. Okay, so, but again, I made these big on purpose because the other boards are going to be thicker.
Yeah.
So it's going to take up a little bit more of it. And originally, I envisioned also of having a groove cut in here. And possibly that the whole thing would slide in. And now the more that I thought about it, I think it's better for me to come up with screws through the bottom. And I think that's going to be more stable, more supportive. And I think, although it pains me to say, I think we're going to use liquid nails to glue to attach the foam to the wood. Just doesn't seem right. Doesn't seem like traditional. I don't know, but I think that's what we're going to end up doing. All right, let's see if I can make this work. Man, if I only had a workbench.
I think you have one. You just have stuff all over it.
All right, that looks good. Okay. And if it was a little less cluttered in here, hey? Hey,
Yeah, that would be a unique thing.
Yeah. Luckily, I have a little. Let me do it on this side. There we go. Now we can see. I do want this to be halfway smooth. Let's see what kind of cut I can make. Let's see if this helps me or hinders me. I think it might help. What do you think? We'll try. Do you know how long this little block has been with me? Nice little piece of oak. Huh?
I know. I don't know how long, but I know a long time.
A long time. All right, let's do this. In theory, the slower that I go, the better it'll be, but I'm in a hurry. You like that smell?
Yeah.
Woo! That does smell good, though.
Yeah, it does.
Good cedar. All right, so that worked out pretty good. Sometimes in the past, I'm not a fence guy. Sometimes it's jammed me up. It does really smell good. Okay, so if you're asking me why did I glue these up? Twofold. Number one, this very dry cedar, we founded. Is that what word should I use? We founded it?
You found?
We found that in 12 inches, like you could actually take and snap them. So twofold is, obviously it makes the head a little bit wider, but secondly, it just gave it strength. I'm gonna take a router, I'm gonna route these edges off real quick. Nothing too complicated. But that's why they're glued together. More for strength, definitely for the size, and I do have a bunch of singles cut, but more for the strength. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Because this is bam! Look at that.
Ice. Yeah.
Look at that. What were you saying you are?
Frozen. It's
You're
so
frozen.
cold.
All right, so out in the light we can see this much better. Now you think that I need to do something in here?
I think it'll get to you after a while.
Well, I need to paint it all black and see. I think once it's all black, I don't think it's going to bother me. Okay. The other thing is I could get smaller bullets, and the stuff does sand up and form pretty easily. So I think if I wanted to, I could probably cut and get some of that in there. But then you're kind of like, what do you pick your poison? Because
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But
I don't think it's going to change one way or the other if the bird's decoys.
Right. And this is one of the original ScoterZillias. 2009. Well, not the original ones. The original ones were like from 2002 as the joke. But again, I'm trying to, I'm calling these mini ScoterZillias. They actually, I think they're bigger. Huh?
Yep.
I mean, truth, what do you think?
Yeah.
I'm not wanting you to, not trying to sway you to tell me that they're bigger, but I think
the head stands taller for sure.
But I mean, okay, let's look at it this way.
Like chest to tail, you're talking about?
Yeah, just the whole. Look at like this.
Oh.
I mean, they're
yeah.
okay. It's a little bit.
The mass.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little wider, but it's a little bit longer, and it's definitely taller.
Yep.
I think they're going to show up forever.
Okay.
And I'm going to be able to put 15 of these. I'm pretty sure I can do 15 in a bag.
Cool.
So I'm happy.
Well, good. All right.
All right. I appreciate your help, love. Because thank you very much. Get back on in. Craziness here. As always, I appreciate you following along with us. Thank you very much. If you could subscribe, comment, question, thumbs up. Give me thumbs down if you don't like the mini ScoterZillias. Although I have to come up with a better name. What do you think, love? Better name than mini ScoterZillias, because they're really not mini, are they? I was trying to make it like, you know, that I thought they were going to be smaller.
Well, the FloterZillias.
FloterZillias. The FloterZillias. The FoamZillias. I don't know.
Zillias.
The just Zillas?
FaZillias.
FaZillias. I don't know. All right. The prototype is made. More to come. Everyone, please have a safe weekend. And as always, thinking of you, we are. Woo!